What is going on, Grinders? It's Chief. We are in the building. It is Take Your Pick'em. It is Thursday. We're almost at the weekend. It is August 24th, 2023. And I am happy to come on and talk with all of you. Thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you for supporting the RotoGrinders. Thank you for supporting the channel. And thank you for supporting the prop shop. It has been my pleasure to try to serve you guys with grace and humility. And once again, we just want to come in and try to give you a few plays today. It's very small slate, so I'm very light volume today, not heavy at all. But I was able to find a couple plays that I think should carry us across the finish line. And as we continue to close out this month, we want to continue to push the profits big time. So we're going to kick it off. It is time for winning words of wisdom. And this one is it's very simple. It's something I came across, and I thought this one was really neat. This is from William Makepeace Thackeray. And he says, a good laugh is sunshine in the house. And that's so true, right? For those of you that have kids or don't have kids, laughter brings about just such good feelings. Such joy, especially the right type of laughter, right? A good joke, watching a funny movie. I like stand-up comedy, so I get to check out. I don't watch those as much as I used to. From time to time, I'll kind of flip through that. And sometimes just an unintentional laugh. My fiance and I sometimes, I'm at the house and something funny will just come up. And it's just such a joy, right, to have laughter in your home, laughter in your heart. And that also brings about positivity. And so as a result, man, find something to laugh about with your family today. Maybe a good memory, something you guys can hold on to in your hearts, and it'll do your body good. So that's the winning words of wisdom. That's coming from William Makepeace Thackeray. A good laugh is sunshine in the house. All right, let's go over our recap. And we will, I'm waiting for it to load up. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. But our recap on the month, we are 32, 26, and 1 yesterday. We've had this 2 days in a row, 2 and 1, so close to a full sweep. Once again, if you're mixing and matching these plays with your favorite plays, then hopefully you're coming out okay. That's absolutely what I'm doing. We wanted Charlie Morton less than 6 strikeouts yesterday. Charlie Morton and Justin Verlander they went to the Fountain of Youth on us this week, so they buried us quite a bit. We wanted Urquidy less than 16 pitching outs. We got that one. And we wanted Mackenzie Gore at less than 6 strikeouts. We were able to get that one as well. So once again, if you mixed and matched those with your favorite plays, looks like we should have come out okay. I had those plays put in some flexes, and it was okay. So there you have it. All right, we're going to hop into today because, like I said, we do have a smaller slate today. So I do have 3 plays, but the slate as a whole, we didn't have a whole lot of options. But I do feel like I was able to come across some options. We're going to kick this thing off. We're going out to Arizona. We've got Brandon Williamson. He's facing the Arizona Diamondbacks. He is on the road. Now, what I will say is if for all of you strictly game log watchers, you're going to look at this and say, I don't know about that, Chief. Brandon Williamson has been pitching well. But once again, in terms of the long-term data here, Arizona has been a team that's been tough on pitching most of the season. And so we've got him at 15.5 pitching outs. I'm expecting lower strikeouts from Williamson today. I'm expecting the ball to be in play today. They are in Arizona. And so as a result, when we look at Brandon Williamson, he's once again at 15.5 pitching outs. We're saying, hey, Brandon, are you able to pitch 15 and a third innings? Absolutely, he's able. But I'm going to side with less than that. When we look at the pitching, the strikeouts have picked up over the last 30 days, 26% to lefties, 26% to righties. One of the things I like to look at when guys are having strikeouts that are starting to pick up, I want to see who they've been facing, right? I want to see who has Brandon Williamson been facing. Well, when I pulled that up, he's faced Toronto, fairly good team, 6 strikeouts. Pittsburgh, a marginal team, 6 strikeouts. Miami, 9 strikeouts. The Cubs, 7 strikeouts. And the Dodgers, he had 2 strikeouts. That was back in July. But he does seem to be on somewhat of a tear. But once again, with Arizona being one of the lower strikeout teams here, and they should be able to put the ball in play, they should be able to run the pitch count up a little bit on him. My anticipation is that he's going to have some trouble here getting past 5 innings. Jeff, good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for joining. When we look at what he's throwing, as you guys know, he's throwing about 38% fastball. We're going to look at the fastball. This team can hit the fastball. We're not worried about that. Now, he's throwing 32% fastball cutter, and as we know, with the cutter, this is how he's able to get through innings efficiently. If he can throw the cutter, they can bite on it. He can get good, quick outs. That's how he's able to get through these innings. When we look at the cutter and we see how is this team hitting the cutter? Not great overall, but they're also limited plate appearances. So I'm not worried about it too much. We still got Marte and Carroll. We're going to give him some trouble. Christian Walker, Kennedy, and Nick Ahmed as well. The ISO numbers are great. Once again, he will get some outs. But what we're hoping is that this team, as they've done almost all season, can put the ball in play earlier. Norcia, good. Hello. Thank you for joining the show today. We're hoping this team can put the ball in play. And as they continue to put the ball in play, the pitch count comes up. Hopefully he doesn't pull a Sandy Alcantara on us and has runners on the base paths and gets a double play on a one pitch out, which could be frustrating. But we're hoping that he doesn't do that, and that Arizona can really stick it to him today. So at 50.5 pitching outs, we want less than that particular projection. All right, we're going out to Minnesota, and we've got Pablo Lopez. He's facing the Texas Rangers. And the Texas Rangers are a tough team, but I'm going to side with Pablo here. When we look at what Pablo's been able to do over the season, he's been really good. One of the things he's been really good at is limiting power, not giving up power to either side of the plate. And so for fantasy points, I'm not going with strikeouts today because in terms of strikeouts, he's at 6.5. That feels a little hefty to me. And I know I said feel, but when I look at the K rates for this team, that feels a little hefty. I definitely think he's going to get some strikeouts. Does he get to 7 today? I don't know, but in terms of the fantasy points, we've got him at 33.5 fantasy points. I want more than that projection. He's 33 on PrizePicks. He's 34 on Underdog. And so the difference there is Underdog is going to give you 5 points for the quality start and 5 points for the win, where PrizePicks is only giving you 4 points for the quality start, 6 points for the win. So it's similar scoring. That 1 point differential in my mind is basically, does he get the quality start? I like it on Underdog as well because of those 5 points. I like it on PrizePicks as well. PrizePicks is 1 point lower because as a result of that quality start, possible quality start point. But the reason why I like Pablo at that number, here's why. If Pablo can pitch the way he's been pitching, it's possible they win this game. I don't trust. I don't trust the pitcher on the other side of this game. He's very erratic, give up a lot of hard contact, a lot of fly balls. It's warm out in Minnesota today, so I don't trust Andrew Heaney today. I'm thinking that Minnesota could possibly squeak out a win here because of his bad pitching, if the bad Andrew Heaney shows up. But bottom line, I think Pablo was able to get through this without the win. I definitely think Pablo can make it through 6 innings. What we're hoping is that he can limit the damage, as we can see with the ISO numbers, not giving up more than 147 ISO, 147 ISO to righties, 132 to lefties for a total of 140 on the season. I think he can limit the power in this lineup. As we see here, he does have, over the past 30 days, the ground ball rate has been up on the season, 42% ground ball rate, much higher to righties, right? He will see some righties, but he will see his mix of lefties as well. Pablo's been pitching well. We have him projected for 6.84 strikeouts. I think Pablo can pick up 6 strikeouts here. If he picked up 5, it wouldn't surprise me. Once again, Texas is a fairly low strikeout team. But what we're hoping is that he can get through 6 innings. He can pick up 5 to 6 strikeouts and not give up a lot of runs. I'd love it if Pablo gave up 0 runs today. But if he can get 6 strikeouts and get through 6 innings, 33.5 fantasy points gives us the opportunity to possibly pick up. He could give up 2 runs, and he finished with 34 fantasy points on PrizePicks. On Underdog, he could give up 2 runs, 6 strikeouts, 6 innings completed. He finished with 35 fantasy points. I like this opportunity for us. If you were checking out the PrizePicks videos that I put out today, I also like Pablo under 2.5 earned runs allowed. But I'm also, once again, going to stick with the fantasy points as well at 33.5. I like that opportunity for us. All right, we're moving along to our last play. And this one, we're just going to stick with a good pitcher facing a high strikeout offense, okay? A good pitcher facing a high strikeout offense. We're going back to Arizona. We're going to go with Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly facing the Cincinnati Reds. He's at 35.5 fantasy points. I'm going with more than that projection. When we look at the K rates here, once again, I'm not saying Merrill Kelly won't give up a run or two, but we've got McClain at a 30% K rate, Ellie De La Cruz at a 30% K rate, 28% for Votto, 31% for Ignacio Strand, 60% for Marte, very limited plate appearances, 30% for Benson, 29% for Stevenson. I think the strikeouts are going to be there, and as a result, if he can dial up the strikeouts today, I definitely think the fantasy points will be there as well. The reason why I'm choosing the fantasy points here, the fantasy points are going to give us the option for him to not necessarily hit his strikeout line. So his strikeout line was at 6.5 today, hasn't moved. I was hoping it was going to bump down to 6. Had it bumped down to 6, I absolutely would have hopped on. If it bumps down to 6 prior to the game starting, I will get some shares in. But at 35.5 fantasy points, I want more than that projection. I think this is a spot where he can pick up 7 to 8 strikeouts, but I'm just more comfortable with the fantasy points because it gives us more outs, right? It also gives us more downside because if they happen to score runs, he could pick up 7 strikeouts and give up 4 runs. That's also possible, but he's at home. The roof should be closed today. I'm going to stick with the fantasy points at 35.5, hoping that not only do the strikeouts show up, but him being able to limit the damage today shows up. He doesn't have too high of an ISO to righties at 172, 151 to lefties, and 161 in terms of an average over the season. So what we're hoping is, once again, he continues to limit the damage and keeps these bats in check via the strikeout and via keeping the ball on the ground. When we look at the ground ball percentage, 45% in the season, 49% to lefties, 42% to righties. 44% the past 30 days, 43% to lefties, 45% to righties. So I do like Merrill Kelly. We've got his strikeouts projected at basically 6.4, which in my mind, we're expecting him to pick up at least 6 strikeouts. And then let's go over to the bat. As you can see, I was looking at Brandon Williamson there. Let's look up Kelly and let's just kind of see where the bat has Kelly at in terms of strikeouts and the projection. We do have the pitch count projected by the bat at 101 pitches, which suggests he should be going deep in the game. And we've got him projected for 6.54 there, strikeouts in the bat. So I'm expecting at least 6 strikeouts. If he can limit the runs, if he doesn't give up any runs in this game, at least during his portion of the outing, then I think it's going to be smooth sailing for us in the strikeout category. While we're there, let's even look up Pablo Lopez. I didn't look at Lopez today to see where he is. We do have limited outs for him. The bat typically does not like Pablo Lopez for whatever reason. So the fact that he's facing Texas today and is kind of getting limited, I get that. We do have him projected for 6 strikeouts. So as a result, I think I like Pablo, and that's kind of how I feel about the strikeouts as well, which is why I'm more in line with the fantasy points today. All right, folks, let's go over our recap. I appreciate all of you for joining me. Let's get this week again today. Keep pushing the profits, and then we'll get you out of here. So at the top of the list, we've got Brandon Williamson at 15.5 pitching outs. We want less than that projection. We've got Pablo Lopez at 33.5 fantasy points on PrizePicks, 34.5 on Underdog. It's pretty much the same because of the quality start points. If he gets the quality start points, then it should balance itself out. But at 33.5 on PrizePicks, we want more than that projection. We've got Merrill Kelly at 35.5 fantasy points. All of these today, I'm going to be mostly on PrizePicks. We want more than that projection. Folks, I'm Chief. This has been Take Your Pick'em. Come in with your pockets empty, leave with your pockets full. Let's get the sweep, and I'll see you tomorrow.